Hello friends, Sayaji Ubakin was one of the eminent Vipassana teachers of the era recent past. He was one of the foremost teachers of Vipassana of a few decades back. He was the source of inspiration to many including Sri Satyanarayana Ji Goenka. Sayaji Ubakin preferred to pay more attention to non-Burmese speaking and non-Buddhist meditators, Vipassana aspirants. Sayaji's predecessors were Saya Thetji and Lady Sayadaw. The other disciples of these teachers in Sayaji Thetji and Lady Sayadaw taught Vipassana mostly to Burmese students only. Sayaji Ubakin spoke fluent English and explained Dhamma in English in a way that could well be grasped by Buddhists as well as non-Buddhists. The words he spoke were not of his scholastic knowledge, but the words he spoke had weight of his personal experience he gained through his deep meditation. Therefore, every word he spoke was very powerful and effective for the students. He was very soft and short spoken. He didn't deliver long lectures. He gave short and effective teaching. He was engaged in government responsibilities until the age of 67 years and had very little time to spare for the teaching of Dhamma. Therefore, he took a vow to teach Dhamma to selected group of people with good paramis, virtues, merits from their past. Then these meritorious learned people may take the torch of Dhamma to guide masses, Puthujan, people with lesser merits. Sayaji was working to serve a few individuals for whom he could spare more time. He used to recite a Pali Gatha. By virtue of this meritorious action, may I only encounter only wise saintly people until I attain Nibbana. Goenkaji said that when a time Sayaji happened to come to his house, he was reciting the same Gatha of his. Then his Guru Sayaji Ubakin advised him not to follow his path. He said, you have to give seeds of Dhamma to many. If you take this vow, how will you spread Dhamma? This vow is for me because I have little time and I am on the border of 2500 years after Buddha, and Dhamma has to start spreading. You are getting Dhamma at the time when the new era has started, when the Dhamma has to be spread to the larger number of the people. So you have to work vigorously. You have to spread the seeds of Dhamma to a large number of people. Sayaji held important executive posts in the newly formed Burmese government after its recent independence. He could have easily amassed a huge amount of money, but that was not the way of Dhamma. That was not the way of Ubakin. He felt fully satisfied to have a small cottage-like house for his son and daughters. Neither inducement of money from dishonest traders nor threats from politicians could deter him from taking right decisions. There were many occasions when he displeased leading businessmen, his senior colleagues in civil service, and cabinet ministers because he would not comply with their wishes, which he found illegal and immoral. Neither fear nor favor could shake him from taking right decisions and actions in his worldly duties. Besides being an ideal government executive with outstanding ability and integrity, he was a very human teacher of noble path. He taught with immeasurable love and compassion in spite of his insistence on strict discipline. He gave compassionate attention to the president of Burma and a peasant, to the judge of the Supreme Court and a criminal. Such was Uba Khin, a jewel amongst the men. Such was the teacher of Sri S.N. Goenkaji, who compared his disciple as equal to himself as regards his abilities. Sayaji was very much confident about his disciple Sri Goenkaji. Goenkaji used to say that he received benefits of developing his parmis because of his Guru Sayaji's confidence in him. With this understanding, Goenkaji continued to work and in the same way inspired the next generation to have the responsibility, the wonderful opportunity on carrying on the work of spreading Dhamma. It's a mission. It's Dhamma's work. Sayaji and Goenkaji will keep on shining as brilliant stars in the galaxy of teachers from Buddha to the present and into the future. May more and more suffering people around the world came into contact with Dhamma, especially now and in the days to come, to eradicate their conflicts, tensions, and suffering. May more and more people learn and practice Vipassana meditation and universal love, goodwill, peace, harmony, compassion, joy, etc. prevail throughout. Thank you.